What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. Tonight I wanted to talk about 1955's Bally Broadway. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you heard me talk about 1951's Broadway, but that was a completely separate game, and it's unclear whether that went into full production or if they just made samples, or what exactly happened with that. So that's not really on the official timeline. This is, however, a full production game. Bally's Broadway in 1955 was the first game to introduce magic squares. Magic squares are one of my absolute favorite features in Bally bingos. And if you think about a bingo card as a 5x5 grid of numbers, your goal is to get 3, 4, or 5 in a row in any way that you can. If you do so, you'll be rewarded with the number of replays commensurate with the odds which are displayed on the backglass. In this case, if you get 3 in a row by default, you'll earn 4 replays. 4 in a row gets you 16, and 5 in a row gets you a whopping 96. But as you keep paying in more money, your odds will continue to advance, all the way up to a maximum of 48 for 3 in a row, 144 for 4 in a row, and 192 for 5 in a row. Now you may say, hey, I've been listening to the past couple weeks worth of episodes, and the maximum odds on most of these games are 300. What's the deal? I want my 300. Well, this game actually gives you a fantastic advantage. Similar to my absolute favorite game of the moment, which is Bally's 1956 Nightclub. This 1955 Broadway allows you to double or even triple your odds. So your maximum payout is actually 192 times 3, or 576. The catch, of course, is that you have to sink the balls in a particular part of the backglass. In this case, the way that you earn double or triple, the game will randomly award advances towards double or triple on either the red lines or the yellow lines. The red and yellow lines are actually just 3 lines on the backglass for red and 3 for yellow, and that leaves 3 numbers which are not part of either the red or yellow lines. So, your best bet is to put the numbers into the correct line that will earn you the most replays. And that's where magic squares come in. Magic squares are randomly awarded, and at first you'll receive A, B, and C all at once. A, B, and C are shown on the backglass as highlighting the upper left corner or quadrant of 4 numbers, the bottom left quadrant, and the upper right quadrant. And this allows you to actually reposition those numbers by hitting a button on the footrail, and it'll rotate the numbers in a circle. Clockwise, always. Now, by default, you have to choose your position before shooting your 4th ball. The game can also randomly award you an extended time tree and allow you to press the buttons before shooting your 5th ball. Now, if you keep putting money in, the game will also light the 4th quadrant in the bottom right, but in between, it will spot either the number 2 or the number 18. It's important to know that 2 and 18 are 2 numbers which are not in either the red or yellow line, and therefore they are not particularly valuable unless you have no other number combination going on in one of those lines. It's also worth noting that not every game will you get doubled or tripled odds in either the red or yellow line, and therefore you must play straight bingo. But with the ability to move the corners, it allows you to reposition many of the numbers which would ordinarily require repositioning in order to get you a winner. The number 16 is the center, as it is on many of the bingos, and that number is not repositionable. In fact, there's a cross of numbers. The center column and the center row cannot be moved. As far as other features, there's a corners feature, where if you land a ball in each of the 4 corners and that feature is lit, you'll win your 5-in-a-line replays. There's also the popular extra ball feature, up to 3 extra balls. It gives you up to 8 chances to get your 5 in a row. And this is the first game with the Bally hole. The Bally hole will light first extra ball, and the Bally hole is actually just number 16. If you land a ball in number 16 and that feature is lit, it'll automatically award you your first extra ball with no money additionally put into the machine. Pretty cool. So let's talk about artwork. Broadway is a Broadway show, and there are 6 different dancing girls on stage, each of which has a feathered hat and is holding 2 large feathered pom-poms off to the sides. Or they're strapped to her outfit or something. They're dancing on a stage, and in the background you can see some stairs leading off, and those have some of the advancing odds. And then you have a whole bunch of curtains, and these are fairly ornate curtains. You have your stage curtains, and then you have your decorative curtains in the front, and you have these big columns leading up to a proscenium arch, and in the proscenium you have Bally Broadway written out in bright show lights. Very cool. I like the artwork on this quite a bit. So as far as the cabinet goes, you've got a kind of bluish green base color, and then a yellow and blue wavy line runs through about the center, and you've got stars and a cityscape done in very small form on the coin door. As far as the playfield goes, you have several completely different dancing girls dancing around the stage, leading up to the queen in the background. Large curtains at the top with a chandelier right under the ball arch area. Very attractive, as per usual. Good job, Bally. As far as playability goes, I love the Magic Squares games. I love moving the numbers. I love the animation that's involved. I love the sounds that it makes. I love the searching and how frantic it sounds. In one of these games, it has the double, triple, or even quadruple odds multipliers. It gives you a sense of tension, which is hard to describe, but with each ball that you sink in, the machine will start making all kinds of racket. It'll click for your first ball, it'll start clicking more frantically for your second and third, and by the time you shoot your fourth and fifth, it's like a symphony. It is crazy. The sounds are some of the things that I enjoy the most about bingos, along with the sights and, of course, the smells. These games are just phenomenal players, and I think Magic Squares really exemplify what is great about bingo gameplay. The player has a chance. The machine has a chance. Everybody leaves happy, hopefully. Well, That's all for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line. That's 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, also at Bingo Podcast, or you can listen to us on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.